Yo, yo. Give me 1 second. Hey guys, I just blew my account. That's heavy. Yo, how's it going, guys? How is everyone doing? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Let's get some hellos in the chat. Type hello if you're in this stream and you're watching. Hello. JK, hello. Mariam went long on gold and got stopped. That's too bad. You should have watched the market outlooks. If you watched the market outlooks, you would have known to have a bearish bias today. I do those for free every single day. Hellos in the chat, guys. Hello. Hey, Levita, Mariam, Dan, Juan, Gerald, Sean, Janice, Hamza, DRC, Hamad, Ethan, Mike, Ali, Wes, hello. Elizabeth, James, Ian, hello guys. How are you all doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Curtis, hello. Hello. Dave Cheesley, how's it going, mate? Nice to see you here. Terry Jenner, hello. Good afternoon. Wherever you're from, maybe you're having a good day so far, ready to make some money. LK, hello. Pietro, Patricia, good afternoon. But yeah, so if you watch the market outlooks, you'll know that we did have a bullish bias on GJ today. But as Merlin said, right, about 10 minutes ago, we've took the highs out now. Okay. So if you're not already, right, if you're not aware, we do daily market outlooks on my YouTube channel. So every night I show you the bias for the day ahead. Today we had a bullish bias on GJ, taking out these highs over here. I said that, we've done that, and on gold we had a slightly bearish bias as well. As you can see, we still need that retracement, so I'd say we're still bearish on gold here. We bounced off 3K again. We tapped, I think we just about tapped into it here and then bounced straight back off of it. About to have a nice fair value gap forming on GJ. Oh yes, this is looking good, guys. We got a good setup here forming on GJ. Let's just walk through the bias very quickly. We're not in any sort of rush. You know, if you remember the week we just had last week, bit rough towards the end, bit of a messy psychology. Hey Asif, how's it going? So with that, we're going to be a bit more patient. We're not rushing into anything here, but we do have a bearish bias at the moment. Now, the daily was bullish because it had retraced. It needed to continue up. Now we've took out all these highs here. We would then look for price to retrace. If we go down to the 4 hour, it's a similar story there as well. We take out this high, which I told you guys about. I literally said this. You can go watch the market outlook if you want. I said this when we were like here, down here. I said, we've respected this. We're going to come up, take this high. Then we retraced. Then we've continued up. So now we've pushed all the way up. We need that retracement. But we don't really know where we're going to retrace to. So what we want to do is use the 1 hour. In 20 minutes, the 1 hour closes and we will have a fair value gap right here. And it's clear as day AMD right here. You know, clear as day. Does not get cleaner than that. But either way, the bias is bearish back down to the bottom half of this fair value gap right here. Okay. So we have a bearish bias on GJ right now. This aligns with the 30 minute as well. Now, if we check the 5, we have a clean 5 minute fair value gap right here, which isn't in the best space possible because the R is going to be quite low on this trade. But if we can push back through this right now, you know, we could look for something there. Or even on the 1 minute, we could look for something. But if we leave it to the 5, we've swept these highs out, you know, all those highs on the daily and on the 4 hour and everywhere else. We took all those highs out. Now we're looking for price to retrace. So we have a bearish bias now. We've just had a clean, clear accumulation after a big move. Okay. Now we took out these highs here. So we've had that manipulation phase. In the manipulation, we formed a fair value gap, which is this one right here. And now we're simply just waiting for price to close below that. Now what could happen is we form another one up here or something. If we do that, we can look for that to be inversed as long as it's not too close to our unmitigated fair value gap over here. If we're entering right here or like right here, there's no point taking that because we're very close to the unmitigated fair value gap. But if we have an IFVG form up here, we can take that because, you know, we're far away from this. Oh, we're far away from this unmitigated fair value gap. So we want to see a few things. We want to see this fair value gap inversed as quickly as possible. Okay. We want to see it within like 6 candles or something like that, 6 or 7 candles. We want to just see it very quickly break through it without going too high, because the higher up we go before we inverse it, the higher or the lower the risk to reward ratio will be. So if we target this here and place our entry, you know, I think this might even be a negative R. It's very near negative, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't mind catching that. It's, you know, it looks like a nice TP. I think what we could do realistically is target the lows over here. And what we need to do as well is check the fundamentals just before we enter any trades. I forgot to do that, but we could have a full TP down here and try and catch something like this, you know, maybe like close 75% of the trade here, then let the rest just run and do its thing. That could be the move. I think that would probably make the most sense here. You know, when we come down here, move to break even or whatever, if the analysis, if the technicals say so, then close 75% of the trade and let the rest fully play out. But we want to inverse this as quickly as possible. Like, if we can inverse this in this candle and have a displacement candle inversing this fair value gap, that's going to be a very strong entry point right here. Let's quickly check Forex Factory. So we've had all the news for today, which is perfect. It does not get better than this. We've had hour and 15 minutes ago, we had red folder news. So we're pretty good now. We're pretty well off here. You know, we can afford to trade really if the setup shows. And now for the setup itself, so we've got the green light to trade. You know, we've got the green light to take sells. We have no news coming up, and we have a bearish bias. Perfect. Now, also on top of that, right, we want to see, you know, the actual entry itself. The entry itself is probably like in the last few steps. We've had the accumulation that we want to see. We've had the manipulation we want to see, taking out these highs, you know, that aligns with a bearish AMD. All we need to see now is this fair value gap inversed in a few candles. It literally is as simple as that. Okay, that's all we need to see now is this candle inversed very, very quickly. This fair value gap inversed very, very quickly. But it looks like we might be testing to go higher. The higher we go, you know, the lower the risk to reward ratio will be. So I think realistically, if we aim to close the majority of the trade here, this is basically what the R is going to be. Or we can say down here, have about a 1 hour trade, right? So if we go like past this level, then this trade becomes completely invalid because we wouldn't make much from this at all. Okay. So realistically, we want our stop loss to be about here. But if we start pushing up towards like over here, we kind of got to invalidate the setup ourselves, okay? There we go. We've invalidated that. Let's see how this candle closes though. I want to see if we can inverse it. If we need a displacement candle. We're getting far away from this, which isn't the best. You know, we want to kind of inverse this like right now. But what we can do, in fact, whilst we're waiting for this, is also just hop onto a different pair. If we check GU, that's not doing too much. You can see a very nice kind of AMD here. EU, this is a similar story. Bitcoin. I can't believe Bitcoin's dropping so much, to be honest. But as I said I think I might have said this in the weekly or the market outlook. This is a textbook 50% retracement right here. textbook literally doesn't get easier than this. Now gold. Let's look at gold. Now gold stung us last time. Gold stung us on Friday. Let's see if we can make that back. But we do definitely have a bearish bias. We've tapped into the 3K range twice now and bounced straight back off of it both times. We still need that retracement. I'd say we definitely have a bearish bias. We also have an IFVG on the 1 hour here. So this is a strong bearish confirmation as well. To come and take out these lows here. You know, we're going to mark all 3 of these here. We can just call that. And then here as well. So what we need to do is look for some form of AMD right here. So what I'd want to see right now is price push a little bit higher. Or to be fair though, we have inversed this. Then retraced back to this after. What does the 1 minute say? If the 1 minute has an IFVG here, guys, we can take this entry right now. No, we're not going to rush into it too much. It doesn't have the IFVG. It has it here, but it's already took out the low. Has it here, but it's already took out the low as well, so we'd need another one. But if we get, right, for our entry now, we'd want to see something like this. If we can get something like that, that would be a good entry point. GJ's just pushing up even more here. What does the 15 minutes say? We could take a 15-minute one. We could take a 15-minute setup here still. The 15-minute could still be valid here. Well, nice accumulation, nice manipulation, right? And what I said before about if we continue up and form another fair value gap, as long as it's not right next to this unmitigated one, we can take our entry. So if we validate a setup here, if we get a valid IFVG right here and close like right here, we have this low in between. So what we could do, right, is this, right? If we just get rid of this, let me show you what I'm looking at here. So we form this, let's say we form this and it's valid, right? Obviously we need to wait for the candle to close. But if we form this and it's valid, and we close below it on the next candle, we then have this low as confirmation to continue down. We've got to come down to that at least. There is also this fair value gap right here. So we enter around about here, you know, and then we push down, and then this would be the management spot. So we take out this low anyway. So when we take out this low, that's when you'd expect price to retrace anyway. But we've took out this low, and then we come into the fair value gap. And my guess is we've probably formed one on the way down. Excuse me, I don't know what that was. We probably formed one on the way down. So we come back to that, respect it, then we'd move stop loss to full break even, something like that. So we can definitely get into this position if we see fit. On the 5, we're going to keep an eye on this because we may just push straight down and displace straight through this. It's took 1-2 candles at the moment, so if it inverses it in the next one, that would be a strong sell setup right here. Just the risk to reward ratio would be a little bit too low, I think. But in terms of the 15-minute, we can definitely take this. There's a 4-hour as well. I think we spoke about this. Yeah, clear 4-hour manipulation here. Take out these highs. We're looking to retrace now. 1 hour as well. Same story. And I think when this 15-minute closes, this will also be a 1 hour close. So we might have a valid fair value gap here on the 1 hour for us to use as some sort of like reference point or something. But it looks also like the 5 is pushing straight back down. I'm going to draw this out just so we don't forget about it. I'm going to set an alert for it as well. But if we push through this and close through this, we can still take this setup. So what I've just shown you guys here, if you're getting a bit confused, is 2 valid setups, right? One's on the 15, one's on the 5. Basically, as of right now, we can take whichever one forms first. That's pretty much it. That's the story so far. We can take pretty much whatever one forms first. On gold, right? We're looking for price to kind of... So it comes in stages, right? It comes in stages, right? Right now, we're probably at like the final stage of this 5-minute setup right now. Whereas on gold, we're at like the first stage where we're kind of just accumulating. You see? Right now, we're just accumulating. Then we'll need to form the fair value gap. Then we need to inverse it. So we're kind of stage 1 on gold, but it looks like it might be pushing up here. Whereas we're at like the final stage. Once we just get that inverse fair value gap form, we can then take the entry. So what I've shown you there, 3 setups, right? 2 of them are on the same stage. So on GJ, we're looking at sells on stage 3 for the 15 and the 5. Whereas on gold, we're kind of just at stage 1, starting that accumulation. So if it doesn't make sense, it should now. You should have a better understanding of what's going on. We're either going to be taking a 5-minute setup or a 15-minute setup. If we take a 5, right? If we take a 5, you know, we'd have a slightly negative R here, but we could be a bit aggressive with it. Would put us take profit all the way down at this low, which would also be the TP if it was a 15-minute setup. And the probability is if this was going to be a winning trade, right? If this is going to be a winning trade, it's also going to be a valid setup on the 15. Like, we would get it on the 5, then we start winning the trade. It starts going towards our take profit, and then the 15-minute also then becomes a valid setup. Think about it. So we can then kind of have a bit more confidence that we're probably going to come down to here if we're going to win this trade. We're not just going to come here. We probably will just come down to here. So it looks a little bit messy here. It might be getting a little bit messy. It might be a bit too much going on for you. I'm not 100% sure, but if it is a bit messy and stuff, this should make a little bit more sense now. So we've got three really potential setups on the way. You know, nothing invalid here. We've got 3 potential setups on the way. We just want to see how gold forms. Gold looks like it's trying to push up right now. Gold does look like it's trying to push up. We've set an alert at the top half of this imbalance. I think that's where we'd want to see it kind of go up to first. Before we start looking for the reversal, that would make the most sense. But, yeah. Like up the stream if you haven't already, guys. You know, YouTube business. Like up the stream if you haven't already. We're going to see how this setup plays out. As I said last week, we're going to be risking 1% per trade now. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, not fluctuating. 1% forever. Every single trade. And another reason for that as well is kind of because, like, obviously we got stung on Friday with that poor psychology. Like, if you go back and watch that stream, it's just poor psychology. There's no technicals that I'm going back on. Like, I didn't even have the technicals. I kind of just admitted that, like, in the stream itself. But we got stung, right? Risking that 1%. So if we're actually going to get out of this, which is probability, we're going to let the probability play out. We kind of got to continue risking that 1% there. Because if we start messing around, go back and get scared, go back down to 0.5% or whatever, go up to 2%, it could go sour and could go wrong. But like the stream if you haven't already, guys, as I said. But yeah, we should be live every day this week as well. You know, we've been slacking the past few weeks. We haven't really had a full week of streams recently. But now we got red folder news every single day this week, which is perfect for us to take a stream, take a trade every single day this week potentially. But we definitely will be streaming. But yeah, I guess that's pretty, like, we just got to wait for this setup to kind of play out, guys. If you have any questions, now is probably the best time to ask them. So if you have any questions, whilst we're just waiting for this setup to play out, ask as many questions as you have and I will answer every single one that pops up. If no one has any questions, that's perfectly fine. We just kind of got to wait for this setup to play out. Now, I think we want to form this, you know, in the next couple candles at most. We want to do it now, realistically. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3. This would be the 4th. We want to just push straight through it now. But even then, we'd probably need to see a retracement before our entry. How long do you normally aim to stream for? An hour. I aim for an hour. Sometimes it might take an hour and a half, so I leave a bit of wiggle room for that, but mainly just an hour. You know, you can see it. If you look back, some are longer, some are a bit shorter, but on average, it's probably about an hour. I aim for an hour. Here we go. Could be taking this entry in the next 4 minutes here, guys. Just got to post a video on Instagram. Right, it looks like we might be pushing down now, guys. Hopefully we can take this trade. What's gold doing? Gold's pushing up as well, but we want to see a clean push. We don't want we want to see something like this, like, because if we're doing this, right, if we're just pushing up with these wicks, it's literally just give me 1 sec, Ali. So with these wicks, we might be just kind of like going up and down, up and down. There's no real gap here. We want to see a gap. We want to see a gap so then we can like kind of disrespect it and inverse that gap. And that'll give us kind of the probability for the trade. So if we're just going to do this and like dance up, just tiptoe up, we're not going to have a valid entry point here. We just want to see a quick burst followed by a quick reversal, entry, quick push down to the lows. Simple as that. That's what we want to see here. Right, I might have misunderstood, but the stats on top of your journal doesn't match. All makes sense except profit factor. With average risk to reward ratio and win rate, it should be much higher. No, it should not. Actually, I think it's wrong in the other direction. Like, it should be a bit lower because it also just says 102%. So probably, I don't know where that. So if we do, this is how the math should go, right? So we take 100 trades, right? We take 100 trades. 76 of them win. Technically, like, this is an average. This isn't a guarantee. We take 100 trades. 76 of them win, and those 76 trades we made 1.6. So if we risk 1% per trade every single trade, we will have made 76 times. Well, we could just do the cells to be fair. Times by this. Okay, but then you also have to factor in the losses. So if we go 100, take away 76 is 24. And then we do equals that, take away that. So if we take 100 trades, make 76, 76 of them win, we make 1.6, we would, and then we lose 24%, we'd make 99% over 100 trades. Whereas if we go 1.8, we'd make 112. If we do, what's this, like 1.9, 120, but we win 80 of those trades. So you mess around with it there. So that's the actual sum that it needs to be. So how do we do this then in one cell? So we do equals. Is this F1? Right. Okay. Yeah. So equals 100. Take away F1. Because it's a percentage, isn't it? If we do equals, yeah, we can't really work it out then, can we? But it would be 99. 99. The 15 minutes inversed. Where? I can't see a valid entry yet. Where's the inverse? I can't see it. I can't see an inverse yet. Maiden. We do have this though. We do have a fair value up here, which is good. So we can use this high and this. Oh, sorry. And that's why you don't want to move back home. But we got to do that. We had to do that for the mortgage. Did you guys see that? Could you see them? Oh, that's embarrassing, man. Right. back to it. We got to wait for this close here. For those guys asking or wondering, I'm only with my parents right now because we're getting a mortgage. I've explained it. When you're trading, you have to pay the rent 6 months up front. So instead of me paying another 6 months, I'm getting a house, and we just got to wait like a month for the chain. The people we're buying the house off have got to move out, so we've got to wait a month for that to play out. So hence why I'm in the change of scenery, but sorry about that, guys. Right, so we gotta wait for this candle to close. All right, we gotta wait for this candle to close. We're almost here now. Hopefully we can kind of just chill and get a little bit close to this. But let's start looking at the entry and exit now. So if we exit, I think the stop loss could make sense to be here, because if this candle closes like this, right? If this candle closes like this, we would then have a valid fair value gap, which is kind of like a resistance for us. For us to continue down. I'm hoping we can kind of stay around here though. I don't want to push too far down because we're not taking the entry here. We need the entry to be like up here. Excuse me. So we have the IFG. We'd have the IFG. We'd have this valid fair value gap. We'd also have this high right here. So that's not too aggressive. All right. Now we've got that, we can start kind of factoring in our position sizing, which, as I said, is 1% every trade now. Right. 10 seconds left. I'm not feeling it going to be a good setup. Right, I'm a bit laggy here, right? So we're in this now. Right, we're in this. We got a little bit of a delayed entry there. Very close to the low, but not too close to this. Right, so let's journal this trade now. We need to set the take profit first, though. And gold's pushing up as well. This might be fundamental then, but we're not going to take both of these setups though. We're going to take one at a time. Right. Let's journal this trade then. Let's journal this trade. So it is the 17th GJ. My TP is 192,265. What's the risk to reward ratio here? 1.7. Right. So right now we have this. If we can kind of float around here or continue down and take out this low, I just want to keep it here so we can see it a bit cleaner. If we continue down and take out this low, or kind of like, you know, chill around here, we'll have another fair value gap here, which kind of adds to that kind of like, you know, support, the resistance or whatever in between our entry and stop loss. It should be good. But let's talk management spots. I don't think there's a point managing the trade here when we come down to this one. We might manage it when we come into this fair value gap here though. So I think this will be management spot number 1. This will be management spot number 2. And that's pretty much it. That's all we can really do. I think we'll close 50% of the trade here. We'll manage here, close 50% here, and then let the rest run. My mum's calling me now. Give me one sec, guys. Right, I'm back. Right. Oh, also I've had to like, I've put this isn't, I'm not trading all my accounts on this one. I've put this on a separate account. Here we go. Here we go. Let's just check financial juice. What's going on here? This seems a bit... nothing. Right, so we took this low out now. We don't necessarily need to continue going down. Management spot number 1 is almost here. So what we're going to do, we're not going to be too aggressive. We're going to leave this, okay? We're going to wait for this candle to close here, right? Once this candle closes, now that we've took out these lows, I think, we came very close to. Okay, so yeah, we technically have kind of took them. Once we close, this does not look... I'm not missing anything, am I? Okay, once this candle closes, we can manage. I think we could put stops above this right here, and it would be like kind of like a soft one. So if we were to close above this, we would then close the trade. Okay. Right. So we're not actually going to be putting our stop loss here. We're going to leaving it up here. But when we close above this fair value gap, or sorry, no, if we close above this fair value gap, we will then close the trade. So that kind of puts our, that puts our stop loss from 42 pips, down to about 25. So about 0.6% worst case now. But let's see how we go. We also have another valid imbalance formed right here. Now let's check the 15. We're pushing down. We took out 15-minute lows, so that kind of retracement was valid, I guess. We want to be tapping into this fair value gap over here though. Let's see how this goes. As Marcus Williams has said, like up the stream, guys. Like up the stream. So, the fact we took out these lows here, just so people can see, I'll put my entry there. The fact we took out these lows means we do kind of need a retracement, but I'm hoping we retrace back to this fair value gap instead. So that's why, and also we could tap into this one and kind of wick up above it. That's why I've put my soft stop loss as a close. But I'm still liking this setup right here. I'm still liking this setup. What's gold doing? Because we got pinged for gold before. Ooh, to be fair, gold's looking good. We'll set another alert for gold. I don't think we should take both at the same time though. Oh wow. Right. Just to keep things a bit clear, we're going to get rid of this so we can see where price is. So we are retracing. That's normal. You know, we took out these lows here. Now, really, we want to tap into this and just bounce off of it, basically. Remember what I said? My stop loss is not strictly here. If we close above this fair value gap, that's when we would close the trade. Gold's just completely bounced up. Right, so this is a new 15 now. So hopefully this 15 can chill. If this 15-minute chills or just kind of continues down as well, best case, we'll have this fair value gap formed right here on the 15 as well as the 5. We got a top wick on the 5, so we can continue down sustainably if we do. But we haven't tapped into the top half of this fair value gap right here. gold's just completely pushing up. So this is kind of what we didn't want to see. So now it kind of invalidates this. Unless we form a fair value gap like up here right now. Because if we keep pushing up, we're going to need that consolidation first before we continue. Right. Looks like we might be respecting this. Obviously, we didn't tap into this one. But it looks like we might be respecting it. Let's continue down now. This is good as well. If we continue down, right, we have this as a high, and we can just move our stops to being above this high now. We'll see how it goes. Actually, the only thing is, though, I think there's a 15-minute fair value gap on top of this. So we'd probably just leave our stop loss where it is, unless we push all the way down here or something. Come on, GJ. Sorry, let me put my phone on D&D. Right, no bottom wick on the 5. So we should come down and make this bottom wick now on the 5 minute. Oh, there we go. As I said it. What's gold saying? Gold's still just, yeah. Can you explain briefly your approach? Yeah, so we have a bearish bias because we took out the highs on the daily, etc. We got a nice accumulation here on the 5. Pushed up, manipulated, took out some more highs, formed a fair value gap, which we've later inversed. So we take our entry based on that, looking to continue down. So it's AMD and IFVG plus the bearish bias on the higher time frames. Plus, on the 15, we also have like a potential AMD right here as well. Are you in? Am I in what? I am in the trade. I don't know if that's what you mean. Right. Looks like we might be continuing down now. If we do, this is great because we've left behind a high right here, which is perfect. Come on, GJ. Right, so what we want to see now, sustainable move down, would be push down, take out these lows, come into here, form a fair value gap, and that's where we would close half the trade. Then we come into that fair value gap and continue down, and then we would be break even. So, I think the next management will be like around about here. We're going to look to close half the trade. Let's just see how the 5 closes first. If we close half the trade here, right? Oh, that wouldn't give us much. This would be more worth it. It gives about 3%, 0.3%. Remember though, this is a soft stop loss. Remember that? So if price closes above this fair value gap, that's when we would close the trade. You can join if you want, yeah. Might be a bit late of an entry, but we do have these lows right here too. Let's see how we react to those. It's based on IFVG, but with the right time and price. Because you can't just trade IFVGs, you need the right price action to trade, which is AMD. So it's like, it's kind of both. Because we're trading the AMD price action, but the entry we're using to get into that price action is the IFVG. So you can't have one without the other. It's based off both of them. AMD and IFVGs. Pretty volatile here though. Also, did you guys see how that 5 minute formed? Do you remember that? Like we were making highs here. Like we literally opened, pushed straight up, which is the open high. Then we pushed down, made the low and closed. Like that's literally perfect candle how we would usually want to see it play out. Open at the high, make no bottom wick or whatever. Flip, make that bottom wick and continue down, which is OHLC. But now I think now's the time to kind of see that consistency in the move. So we we want to see price just kind of continue this push down rather than still like messing around. We want to see a clean continuation down. Oh wow. Oh wow, that was Very crazy spike there. I didn't. Apparently, there's literally a wick down here, which means price went to that. I did not see that at all. But this is the issue now. Now that we've closed, like, I think we want to see price push a little bit further down into this zone, and then we can look at closing half the trade, and then just letting the rest run. That was crazy. That was a crazy spike down. But yeah, as I said, or as I was saying, we kind of want to see price continue down now. It's too late to get in. Too late, young Victor. Because we've tapped this. Like, this is an unfortunate spot that we're in right now because price has technically tapped this purple line. So we could respect this imbalance now and continue up. So we really, like, this is this, like, I wanted to have closed half the trade by the time we tapped into this. But the fact that we kind of just, like, spiked down and, like, just spiked down and touched it without actually going to that level was very annoying for me, because now we're in a risky situation because we could reverse and continue up. I want price to come back down to here. So we're going to close half at this line right here, okay? I might even... No, we'll do it there. What will gold do now? I don't know. It could continue down unless it closes above here. If it closes inside this, there's a nice chance of a retracement. Like up the stream if you haven't already, guys. You know, whilst we're waiting. This is, as I said, this is a risky position now because I wanted to have closed half the trade by the time we tapped into this. But we wicked, like, we didn't even technically go there for me. Like, you can watch that back. Like, we just kind of pushed down here but had a wick that went down to here. And I've seen that before, but usually it kind of fills that wick. So we're in a risky position now because if this had played out properly, we would have closed half of the position by now. So we're kind of just waiting and hoping that price pushes down again so we can close half the position. This is not looking great. I mean, it's not looking bad. Right, that's a 30-minute candle there. Gap down slightly, which is annoying, but let's see if we can continue down to here. I'm waiting for this. The second it pushes down, takes out the low of this wick, I am going to be, you know, closing half of my trade here, which will give us about 3.3, 0.4%. Right, okay. Right, I'm ready to close it. It's ready there. It's ready to close. Half the trade here, guys. Half the trade when we take out the low of the previous candle. If we close half here, it's impossible for us to lose money on this trade, even if we go up and hit the stop loss where it is right now. Come on. I don't like the fact we wicked that. That's so annoying. Because now we're kind of in that like grey zone where we kind of got to hope for price to do something for us, which is what you don't really ever want to be. And you never want to be there hoping price will continue down. You want to basically know that it probably will go down now. Whereas we've tapped into this, we've kind of got to hope that it doesn't respect it, which leaves it up to no analysis, no analyst. We just got to hope it doesn't respect it. How to close half in C-Trader? I'm not 100% sure. You have to search that up. On MetaTrader, though, if you're trying to close half on MetaTrader, you just go into your position that's currently open. Then just where the lots number is, you click that number and just type in half of it. And then close. And it will only close half. That's for MetaTrader. I'm not too sure about C-Trader, though, Melvin. Sorry. But yeah, like up the stream if you haven't already, guys. Let's hope we continue down now. Come on. Because if we close half like here, even if, because we'll have 0.25% then in risk. Because if we risked 1% up here, then half that to 0.5%, then half that to 0.25%. If we make 0.4 and 0.3 here by closing half the trade, it's impossible for us to lose money on this position, even if we go up and hit the stop loss. But once we take the low, what I want price to do to get to break even is kind of continue down and form an imbalance, right? Also inverse this one, but form an imbalance on the 5. And then we can move to break even, knowing that if we're going to go up to the break even, we would have had to inverse this, which means we will continue up further. Come on. This is very annoying. I hate being in this kind of position. The fact that price is like spiked down here has kind of caused that issue because we didn't get a chance to close half. You know what I mean? Hasn't hit your 5 minute. What do you mean? This? Right, come on, GJ. Want to see a nice push now. The next candle open, just push down to about here at least. We haven't had 5 candles in a row that are bearish for a while. Right, come on. Take out this low of the previous candles. When we do that, we close half. This is kind of like no man's land now, guys. It's very annoying. I've said, I'm sure you know why it's annoying, but let's see how this plays out. Bring out the magnet. That's a shout, Johnny. That is a shout. Right, guys, I'm about to show you, like, the 99%. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm about to show you the 100% win rate strategy right here. All you have to do, right? So when you're in a trade, it doesn't matter about the setup at all. Whenever you're in a trade, all you have to do is pull out the magnet, and it's literally just price is going to go towards it like instantly. You can see it happening right now. Like, can we get an instant replay on that? Because like we've literally just pulled this out and now it's pushing down. See, this is what I mean, guys. 100% win rate here. Get ready to close half of your position. I've closed half. Come on. I was talking about it and it pushed back up. It's actually, yeah, it actually is more than 100% win rate. It's like 1,000 or 10,000. Like, look, if you want it to just go down quicker, all you have to do is this. You know, just make it bigger. See? Right. We've just made it bigger, so now price is going to continue down. It's going to push down and take out this low here that we formed on this candle. It might take a second because it's so big. It's kind of got to load, like, you know, it's got to warm up first. Come on, I was literally about to close half. We are in a 5. We're in a 15 as well. This is annoying. I might just close this at break even here, guys. Now that we've tapped into this. This is so annoying. Unless we flip back around first. If we tap our break even up here, I'm gonna just close the trade. Because now we could respect it. And like if we were to continue up off of here, I would go, okay, price took out the high, retraced to the fair value and continued up. That's perfectly normal. So unless we just flip back around and, you know, this is why I wanted to be in a position where we could close half the trade here. But it's not looking like we're going to get that now. So if we continue up, I'm going to close at break even. Right. What does the 1 minute say? Let me just adjust this so I don't close half the trade at break even. Right. Right. I'm out this now. I'm going to get out this. We got a little profit there. I'm out this trade now, guys. Unfortunately. These candles here, like I think we were a little bit too slow here. You know, we were messing around with the magnet. But this was annoying. But I'm out the trade now. We got caught break even here. Well, I just closed it break even. Let's journal this down very quickly before we forget. Closed trade here. Right, so like wicked, or what's this called? I don't know. Wick down into discount of bullish 15. Was planning on closing half, but didn't get a chance to, as it wicked it very quickly. So we could have been in profit here. Nice work, Sean. Nice work. So you can fully hold this trade now. Like you can just let this play out fully. What's gold doing? Gold's just pushing up. So I think this is annoying. This is annoying. Sometimes it happens. But I think the best bet here was to kind of close the trade because we were still in that like grey zone. I want you to think of it like a grey zone. Like we had our reasons. Like over here, we had our reasons to continue down, right? We then continued down. On paper, we tapped into this bottom half and then came back up. But in reality, we just went like down here and just had a wick that was down here. So we didn't get a chance to close it, but it technically had come into the discount zone. So if it was to continue up, we would be like, okay, this makes sense. It makes sense. We took out the high, then retraced, and then continued up. That makes sense. So we didn't have that confluence to actually continue down to close half the trade. So we were just kind of hoping the price would continue down and then close half the trade, which is like the gray zone because we could lose that trade and we'd know exactly why. So it's just a kind of, managed to get better entry, closed with small profit. Nice work, Pietro. But yeah, and now it's continuing down. That's classic. But yeah, we had to kind of close half there, which is very annoying. But I think that takes discipline to do that. So I'm quite happy with that. I've walked away with a W there, regardless. It takes discipline to do that. So I am quite happy, with the fact that I had to do that there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Like, we're not gonna look for another small trade or whatever here. Joven's laughing. Yep, quite the contrast to Friday, innit? But I'm quite happy with that. That's what I wanted. I wanted to have that discipline, so I'm quite happy that I had the discipline here to close half the trade. Which is a big step from Friday's fuck up. But yeah, you've seen how this went out. You've seen how this played out. You've seen me managing it live. I hope you understand how to trade a bit better. I hope you've learned something from this stream. If you haven't made profits, if you've made profits, I hope you've done both. Made profits and learned something. Either way, if you've took a trade on this stream, make sure you journal it. Okay? Make sure you journal it. And we'll see how it goes. But that's pretty much it from me, guys. I'm live every single day at the same time, every single day. So 9:30 a.m. EST, whatever time you've seen this trade started, that's the time I'm going to be live tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what I want you to do is just join the next stream. We got a really nice community here, and we've also got a winning strategy. So we can make money, we can chill. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I've got nothing else to share. I've got nothing else to share. So like up the stream, have a good rest of your day. Make sure you journal the trades that you did take. And I'll see you all tomorrow at the same time, same place, for the same thing.